Why does our skin get dark and our hair get light under the sun? It's because the cells in our hair are lifeless, and the melanin, the pigment responsible for the color of hair and skin, cannot be replenished. On the other hand, the melanin in the skin is alive and reacts with ultraviolet rays from the sun to produce even more melanin. Hence, your skin becomes darker while the hair appears lighter when exposed to the sun. Why don't our eyes freeze at sub-zero temperatures? There are no temperature receptor cells in our eyes, and that's why we never feel that our eyes are getting cold. They can survive freezing weather without any protection because eyes get a continuous supply of warm blood. Additionally, the positioning of the eyes, surrounded by bones and tissue, also gives them sufficient protection from cold temperatures. Why is dust white against a black backdrop and black against a white one? You may find it surprising, but the actual color of dust particles is gray. However, their tiny size makes it difficult for the human eye to perceive the original color unless the specks are lighter or darker than the background. Many people believe that dark colors attract more dust than light ones. It's nothing but a misconception, as dark colors only make the specks more visible. Why don't we recognize our voice on a recording? It's because our bones can conduct sound, and we hear a different version of our voice when we speak. The person you are talking with only hears the voice conducted by air, whereas you hear a combination of regular voice and the sounds conducted by the bones of our skull. This is why our voice sounds more high-pitched in a recording. Why do we get a brain freeze when eating or drinking something cold? Also known as the ice cream headache, this short-term discomfort is experienced when something extremely cold touches our upper palate. Research shows that brain freeze is connected with the sudden constriction of the blood vessels and usually happens when you briskly consume something cold in hot weather. Where does toilet waste go on a plane? Does the waste leave the plane while it's still in the air? No, it doesn't. When you press the flush button in the plane, a valve opens, and the bowl's contents are sucked into a holding tank. Each of these tanks can hold up to 20 gallons of waste. These storage tanks are cleaned by service trucks as soon as the plane lands. Why do we have goosebumps? Goosebumps come from the constriction of hair follicles, which happens due to a subconscious emission of adrenaline in the body. Humans generally get goosebumps in cold weather as they can help us to stay warm. Similarly, you will experience goosebumps in emotional situations because they instigate the secretion of adrenaline. Why do we close our eyes when eating something sour? The acidic nature of sour foods is what results in this unusual natural reaction. When a sour food touches our tongue, the brain perceives it as dangerous, and urges us to squint our eyes as a sign of warning. Some researchers suggest that the eyes are closed to prevent the acidic juice from getting into them. Why does time pass more slowly for a child? There are two possible explanations for this phenomenon. Firstly, a child needs to remember more information, as he or she is learning many new things in the surroundings. Alternatively, humans tend to evaluate some situations by corresponding them to the time we have already lived through. Therefore, a week is always a bigger chunk of a child's life in comparison to an adult. Why don't urban pigeons sit in trees? Due to the urban infrastructure, the pigeons in towns and cities become habitual of sitting on a rocky landscape. Although the structure of the limbs is ideal for sitting in trees, they just don't inherit the natural sitting reflex of pigeons. Thanks for watching.